This is an updated tutorial on how to get MP3s to playback in Unreal Engine 5 without the heavy use of scripting. So let's go ahead and get started. First thing I'll point out, you can get audio if you're going to use this on, for example, YouTube. You can use the YouTube audio library and you won't get copyright issues, at least from the if we post videos. Of course, you'll need to create your own music for your game, but that is available there. I have already collected a few songs here for this, so I've got 4 songs here that I have downloaded. Just standard MP3 files. We can, run some playback of them here. So we've got a few of those there. We will be including these into the project. Alright, so first thing, I have a test area here. There's nothing in it. It's a default project. If we hit play here, there is nothing in here. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started. So what we need to do is we need to first bring in our audio content. Right, so I'm going to right click here. Right, actually I'm going to right click over on one of the folders here so it's easier to get into that. And then I'm going to go to show and explore. Right, it's going to bring me into the folder where my project is stored. Alright, so I'm going to go back to content right here. Alright, and this is good enough for now. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy those audio files in. Alright, I'm going to just select them. I'm going to drag them over. I'm going to hit Control because I just want to make a copy of it instead of moving those files. Okay, so the files are there now. And now we need to import them. So I'm going to go over here and I'm going to right click and choose Import to Game. Alright, so I've got them and I'm just going to select these files and I'll choose Open. Now you can do this from another spot on your hard drive where it's from, but that can cause problems. For example, if you try to move the project, or you move the sound files, or you try to take the project to another computer. Those all will cause problems if you don't put them inside of the folder. Alright, so I have the 4 songs here. You can tell these are MP3s that are not recognized typically by Unreal because they have a TV and a book here. It knows, it has an idea that they're media file, but it won't directly play them back normally. Alright, so once we have these in here, I'm going to hit the Save All button right here. Alright, I'm going to save selected because I want to save all that. Alright, so the next thing we need to do is we need to create a playback device. Alright, so I'm going to right click here in this open area, and you would think you would go to sounds, but this isn't where you go. You're going to go up here to media. Alright, and you're going to choose media player. So we go to media player here. I'm going to click on that. It gives us the option to have an output media texture. This is if you're playing video and you need to show video for it, which we are not in this case, so I'm just going to leave that unchecked. I'm going to hit OK. Alright, there's my new media player. You can change the name of it if you want. I'm going to leave it alone because it works just fine. Alright, so we've got that, and one of the things that we can do is we can double click on this and make sure our audio works in it if we want to. Just double click on it. Alright, so I see it's working there. That's all good. Alright, so I'm going to hit Save All on that because I want to make sure it's saved. Now we need to create our playlist. Right? So we can technically, if we want to get into scripting, we could go in and manually add each one or add it dynamically, but in this case we're not. We just want to do a straight playlist. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to right click here. Alright, in this open area again, we're going to choose media again. And this time we're going to do media playlist. Alright, so I've got that. We've got our new media playlist. You can name it what you want. I'm going to leave it alone, but I'm going to double click on it because I need to open it up. Alright, so this is how we create our playlist. Alright, this is probably the worst playlist editor I've ever dealt with because it requires you to do some very unnatural things. But to use it, I wish you could drag these up here and place them in, but no. What you got to do is you got to go to the circle with the plus, hit that, and you need to hit for every song that you want to include. So I'm including 4 here. And then we're going to go through the list. I mean, you would think you'd be able to do that, but no, you can't. So you got to go here, go through the list, just to add them in. And that's what I'm doing here. Okay, they're in. They don't have to be in the order right now that you want because you can go over here and grab on this edge and you can drag around. Alright, you can drag the order that you want it in. Alright, so I'm going to hit save. So now it's saved. Alright, and close that out because we don't need this anymore. And we need to do one more thing in this physical area here. We need to add a playback position. Alright, so like think about like adding a speaker into the world. Alright, I'm going to make this blue square here a speaker. Pretty simple, just select what you want to be the speaker. And then we're going to go over here in details and we're going to hit add. Alright, so we'll hit add here. You'd think it would be audio, but no. What we're going to do is we're going to scroll way down here and we're going to find media sound right there. So media sound. Click that. We've got media sound in there. You can change the name if you want. I'm just going to click off of it. Alright, and then you choose your media player for this. So go to media player and choose media player here, new media player. Alright, so you have some options. You can do mono, stereo, or surround. We're going to leave that for standard. You can set up attenuation so the audio can drop off over time, and you have positional audio and all kinds of good stuff. You can do all that in here. I suggest playing around, seeing what's available, because there is all kinds of stuff that's available here. Alright, now that we have that set up, we get to go to the part that kind of has some people a little bit nervous. But don't worry, it's not too bad. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up here to the area up here. It's to the right of the quickly add project. So it looks like that. We're going to click the arrow next to it and we're going to open the level blueprint. Alright, so the level blueprint is a script for the level itself. Alright, so don't panic, it's okay, this is not too bad. So we're going to do 2 things over here on the left hand side. The first thing is we're going to go here to functions on the list. It says functions, in this case 20 override. I'm going to change this override here and I'm going to choose begin play. Okay. So this is an event, and what it'll do is it will fire off when the level starts, and that's kind of what we want because we want our game to start playing audio when the level loads. Alright, so we've got that, and we go over here to variables, and we're going to hit the circle with the plus in it next to variables. Alright, so you can name this if you want. I'm going to do in player just because I want something labeled that. Alright, so once we've done that, we need to change the type. So right now it's of type of Boolean, which is either true or false, but that's not what we want. We want a media player. So what we do is hit the arrow next to it, and we could search through here, but I'm literally just going to go to the search and type in media player. Oops, I did double. Alright, so we're going to do media player right here. Click on it, and there we have media player. Okay, so we're partially done over here. Alright, there's one last thing we're going to do is we're going to hit compile and save. Alright, so we've compiled and saved. Now we're going to go over here to the far right side while we have this variable selected. Alright, so over here we have our default value. We're going to change this because we want to choose new media player. Alright, so this is going to immediately pass this stuff in. Okay, so now we have an event. Alright, the event is going to begin, and we're going to take this media player that we have, and I'm going to drag this down here. Alright, and I want to get that thing. I want to get that media player. So we can click on get media player, or M player in this case. So I have my object here, and what we're going to do is we're going to operate on this. We're going to operate on the M player. So I'm going to drag off of this dot at the end of M player here. I'm going to drag this off, and I'm going to let go. Okay, so from there, I'm going to scroll down and find media. Alright, and then media player. And then I'm going to scroll way down here, and I'm going to choose open playlist. Alright, I'm going to choose open playlist. Doink. Now it's going to give us this extra box here. So let me go ahead and maximize this real quick. So we have this box here. By the way, we can drag these around and move them. It doesn't matter their physical position in here. I'm going to also, last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to this arrow up here. I'm going to drag this down to this arrow here. Alright, I've got that. And then finally, I'm going to select my playlist. Okay, so the event happening, what we're trying to operate on, and the open playlist action box here where we set our playlist. Alright, so once we've done that, we've got to go up here and hit compile again. Alright, that should change to a green circle with a check mark in it. And then we'll hit save to save it. Okay, so we've got that. That's the hardest part right there. So I'm going to close this out. And now, our audio should work. Okay, so now we have the audio playing. That's it right there. That's what you have. That's the basics of playing back compressed audio. This is good for background music and stuff like that, not for sound effects and stuff. That's what meta sounds are for. All right, so have fun, everybody. I look forward to seeing and hearing what you create.